So this morning I got woke up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I hate getting woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning. So there was some people yelling outside. So I went and looked outside to see what the fuck was going on. Now, I really don't care about motherfuckers fighting outside. I live by Domino's, and I live by Dunkin' and a Popeyes. So there's always a motherfucker arguing in the parking lot or some stupid shit. But it's 10:30 in the morning. So I went outside, looked around. There's some girl arguing with a dude. So she tells dude, she says, yeah, you's a pedophile, you's a pedophile. So now I'm looking, I only got my boxers on, so I can't go outside. So I'm like looking off my porch. I just want to make sure that these stupid motherfuckers don't fall into my fucking bike because my motorcycle's outside. So they arguing and shit. She's like, yeah, I'm only 16 years old and you're 23. So the guy tells her, the guy says, yeah, well, you've been sucking my dick. Boom, boom, some crazy shit. So then I heard like a bunch of rustling, but I couldn't really see them because they was like on the side of a car. So I don't know if they was fighting or what was going on. So this bitch pulled out her phone and called 911 and said, yeah, police, there's a fucking pedophile over here. Just put his fucking hands on me. Boom, boom, boom. So this dude, he started walking off. She's giving the police to do full description, etc. I was like, police is coming now. I'm going to my fucking house, right? So I went inside. But what I was thinking was, you are 16 years old and it's a Wednesday at 10:30. Why the fuck is you not in school? Where the fuck are your parents that you run around with a 23-year-old man and you're not in school at 10:30 in the morning on a weekday? And then you calling the police on this man. So I feel like you've been in these type of situations before, because she comfortably called the police and gave his description and everything. So parents need to be better with their children. My daughter's about to be 16 and she would never miss a day of school. Now, when you miss a day of school at Troy, I live in Troy, New York. So when you miss a day of school, the police call your house. So these people have been calling her parents. The truancy officers have been calling her parents. I guarantee it, or the school has, one of the two. And they're clearly not doing anything about their daughter not being in school. Meanwhile, she's running around with a grown-ass man, and he was outside smoking weed. So she running around with a grown-ass man doing drugs while she's supposed to be in school. And this is the problem with these generations. Every generation seems to get worse. It's bad parenting being dropped down from child to child. And I promise you, her mother probably had a bad parent. And her mother before her probably had a bad parent, because these things are taught. Now, I had a great parent in my father. My father was a great parent. I had my grandmother as like the female that was in my life. My grandmother helped raise me too. My mother was doing drugs and everything. She didn't get clean till I was like 13 or 14. By then, I was like, man, I don't need you in my life. Like, beat it. But she still tried. But by then, it was like, you did too much damage, too much bullshit. You was always bringing my father to court. My father was a good man raising me. So parents need to be more consistently in their child's lives and know what's going on. Your 16-year-old should never be dating a 23-year-old and walking around the streets in public with him during school hours. So this is something that she's very comfortable doing. And this is something that this fucking guy is very comfortable doing, walking around with a 16-year-old girl in the middle of the day. And he had slides on and everything. He was real comfortable walking around. So society seems to be falling apart at every single angle. And a lot of it comes down to these parents not knowing what their children are doing. And I don't know who that girl's parents are, or if they're on drugs, or if they're not in her life, or what's going on, but it's a fucked up situation when it's 10:30 in the morning and a 16-year-old is fighting with her 23-year-old boyfriend and calling the police that fucking early in the middle of the day. And that ain't what I like to wake up to.